Hey everybody, Matt Dover, Special Task, and your security-minded friend. Here I'm going to talk to you a little bit about passport safety security. One of the questions I got asked with the client was, what would happen if I lost my passport? How would I get my passport back? And essentially, if you're on vacation, you're on a business trip, you lose your passport, pretty much everything comes to a halt. You need to find a consulate, an embassy nearby for your country, and then you're going to have to get refreshed travel documents. That puts everything on hold. But here we're going to talk about a couple tips, little suggestions that you might want to take that might help you in the event that you lose your passport, it's stolen from you, or you misplaced it, or actually even if you're robbed. So let's talk about those different cases. So there you are, you're in that country, maybe you drank too much, you get in a taxi cab. You're not paying attention, passport falls out. Okay, or you get robbed of all your documents and everything else, and you lose your passport. Okay, most small-time criminals aren't really going to be so much interested in your passport. It ties them to the crime, so they'll probably ditch it. Okay, or you lost it, you left in the cab, or tuk-tuk, or just misplaced. You left at at a particular room or somewhere else at a cafe. So these are just some helpful tips. You can take them for what they're worth. They might work for you. You don't have to use all of them. Use a couple of them and try them out, and we'll talk a little thing. Obviously, the first thing in place is don't lose your passport. Almost every country requires you to have your travel documents on all times with you. So things kind of come to a halt, and now your vacation, your business trip is just kind of dead in the water. You're trying to find the consulate. You got to pay the money to get all the things taken care of. You don't want to do that. So here, let's go through a scenario. You have your passport. Couple key things I'll tell you right off the get-go is you need to sign your passport. Okay, your passport isn't legal until it's signed, so make sure you sign it. So that's one of those things that they always get catch. Another thing in here, fill out all your emergency data, and that means what's current. As we change our lives, as you move and things like that, make sure you fill out your emergency data. With that said, I always tell people that they should register with a consulate. So whatever your consulate is, I always recommend that you register. With everything that's going on in the world today, with some of the protests going on in Hong Kong and some other countries, Moscow with the protests there, it's important that people know, and if you need to be extracted for one reason or the other, there's a situation, your consulate is going to know where you're at, and that's a good thing. I know some people are like, oh, big brother follow me around. That's not the case. So definitely take the time to go online and register with your consulate. So that being said, I'll tell you one of the easiest tricks to do is get a hotel card, okay, from the hotel you're staying at in that particular country or place, not the one that you just left. You're in Vienna, now you're in like Budapest. Obviously, you want that. Like, get it from the concierge at the front desk. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a paper clip. Just clip it in here. Okay, that's one way. Most people are generally honest. They'll try to get your passport back, but if you haven't given them any information to get it back to you, they're only going to do so much effort to get it back to you. So this is one way. They're like, oh, it's a cab, picks you up, drops you off, you lose it, one of the clubs or whatever. You've got your current hotel card, and they're okay. They can go back to the hotel really easily and go to the front desk. Hey, there was a gentleman here or a lady here. It looks like this. This is her passport. I'm trying to return it. Easy fix. It's not a lot of effort on anybody's part. So I talked about signing. Okay, so one of the things that people talked about was a local contact. So if you notice, I use these Post-it notes. Okay, the benefit of the Post-it notes, and that's probably a trademark. So a sticky note is they can be taken out. So just put a local contact phone number. It could be the hotel if they don't have cards for it, or like you're at a hostel. Just put the local phone contact number in there, in the country that you're staying at that time. When you move to another place, obviously replace it with whatever's current. So that'll help you out, okay? So these are really handy. I just put them in there. You can take them out. They don't damage your passport at all. So it's a real simple, easy fix. Now, I know a lot of people are big on, privacy and their concerns, and there's been, stuff about Facebook. But I'll tell you, putting your Facebook account on here is probably going to be one of the fastest ways anybody's going to get a hold of you in regards to getting your passport. More than likely, you're like 99% of everybody else who's going to post their travel itinerary and everything they're doing on a day-by-day basis on Facebook. You're going to monitor it. You're going to look at all the comments. So it's really easy for somebody to see your Facebook account, your name on there, and just send you a message that I have your passport. More than likely, you're going to be checking it. You're going to be posting everything up there, even though I'll tell you not to do that. Wait till you get home, so that way nobody knows your house is empty, your apartment's empty, you're on a 2-week vacation in Bali. So those are one of those suggestions I suggest. One suggestion that was given to me, I have kind of conflicts about it, but it's not a bad idea, is there's a reward for return. Okay. One person said, well, if you put that in there, it leads people to believe like, well, I could steal it and get some money for your passport. The side of that is, who's going to actually look into your passport to see that note? But I will caveat this at the same time, though, for the trouble that you're going to go through trying to get your passport replaced for 50 euros or $50 or whatever you can afford to get your passport to continue your business trip, not have the drama, kill a day or so trying to get the consulate, you get your passport back, can make a big difference. Like I said, most of these are real simple tips. And I'll tell you, one of the other things is remove everything from your passport that I just told you to put in there, okay? As you go through countries and different immigration, they don't need to see all this in there. You're going to cause more questions than probably you're going to have answers for. Well, it's well intended. That includes the paperclip with the hotel cards, any other trash that you put in your receipts. Make sure you empty this thing out so that particular customs official doesn't have an issue and start asking what all this stuff is about. Okay? So this one was kind of short and sweet, but I hope it's helpful. If you found it useful, please share it with your friends. There's a real quick tips to get your passport back. Are they going to work? If you have a story about losing your passport and getting it back and how it worked for you, please share it below. I'd love to hear about it. Or if you have some other suggestions on ways to retrieve your passport on a timely basis while you're abroad, I'd love to hear about it. There's always new ideas out there. Obviously, the big takeaway is don't lose your passport. Don't get so inebriated that you don't control your faculties and your items around you, and protect yourself at all times. And as we say in special tasks, know before you go.